belly shape she's got. She sweeps into a sweeping belly shape there from the side. One that comes out super thick out of her hip, and like I said, stout from behind. Wow, one that's good off her feet and legs, gets around here in the ring. If we're gonna get ultra critical on her, maybe you just like to level out her top line here when she gets out on the move, but that's getting awfully critical of just a great place to start this class in the stout broody female. I commend this exhibitor for bringing her out. The young lady's heifer that comes out in second is one that she does a really good job handling him. She's getting a little feisty with her today, but she's staying true and strong and still staying good with the showmanship on this heifer. One that you just appreciate for the long bodied and long front end. Unfortunately, this long-toed female is just a little greener in condition. Like to see her a little bit heavier in her condition, stouten her up and move her on up here in this class. But again, let's commend these two exhibitors on a great class. You're good to walk her around. We can pull them. Yeah. You're good to follow. Yep.
Sure, most of you noticed we've got a new campground that's fair this year. Just a little example of what the money that's generated from the 4-H malt stand goes for. There was a significant amount of help there to finish up that project with those funds. We also want to recognize Lake Region Electric for donating time and effort there to put in the electricity for that campground. So don't forget to patronize that 4-H malt stand because it generates some revenue that is very beneficial to all of our 4-H members.
You're going to be 3, 2. Young lady, you're going to be 1, all right? You're doing a great job out here. You're going to be 1. we get into our shorthorn breeding heifer class, and I think this young lady's white heifer that comes out here kind of rises to the top for me quite easily within this class. One that's just so much stouter in terms of her bone and foot size. She's wider based up front. But where she excels the class in terms of is in terms of her design and structural correctness. No doubt she's the levelest top, squarest hip heifer who comes out with the boldest rib shape and the deepest rear flank of this class, and one that I just certainly appreciate as she gets around the ring. In terms of her structural correctness off of her feet and legs, certainly a very nice heifer for this young lady and a great place to start this class. The young man's, excuse me, the young man's roan heifer that comes out in second beats the third place heifer in terms of a balance standpoint from the side. One that's bolder about her rib shape, deeper in terms of her rear flank, and one that I just appreciate for her tail head sitting in higher, makes her leveler coming out through her hip. The young lady's heifer that concludes the class is one you certainly have to appreciate for how tall-fronted and long-sided she is. I guess for me today, I just like to see her balance a little better from the side. One, we just need to drop, soften up in her rear flank in order to make that balance and that design standpoint from the side just smoother in her makeup. But thank you. Let's give those young exhibitors a congratulations. You're good to pour out.
We have one exhibitor in the spring calf class, Lana Himmelbold. She should be on deck right now.
Just a single entry here in our Chardonnay composite class, but a female that definitely could have stood some competition in this class, one that I think this young man brings in an exceptionally good heifer, one that you just appreciate for that picture she paints from the profile, one that's just so feminine and clean up front. She's smooth blending from her shoulder into her forerib, has an expansive, bold rib cage, and one that you just got to appreciate for how structurally correct she is, not only down her top line, but off her feet and legs, one that just floats in this class. A very high quality heifer. Let's certainly give him a round of applause for bringing her out today. You mind pulling her around for me? I'll talk about her as you're walking. Congratulations. Just a single entry here to kick off our commercial heifer show. The white-bellied heifer that's being shown today, the young lady does a great job leading her around, and one that she gets her stuck pretty quickly there in terms of on the stand here. A female you just got to appreciate for how tall she comes at the point of her shoulder, just elegant about that front end. Maybe a heifer we'd like to put a little more condition, bone, and muscle on. But again, a very nice little heifer cap to start a commercial show. Let's give this young lady a round of applause.
Commercial all calf class. Give a price, and then we're going to move into the junior yearlings. We got quite a few in that class. Odin Maximus, Easton Court, reminder, exhibitors, if you get a blue ribbon and you have a market animal, don't forget to sign up at the 4-H office to take part in the blue ribbon auction, which starts on Saturday at 9 o'clock.
You're doing a great job, young lady. Just another single entry here in our fall commercial heifer class. The young lady comes out here today and does a great job showing this heifer calf again. We can definitely tell that she's in control and has been working with this heifer a lot this summer. So again, I want to commend her for that. Here's the short-tailed heifer that walks out here is one you got to appreciate for how long-bodied, long-sided she is from her shoulder on back, and one that's still clean and feminine up front. Maybe if we'd like to change her, we'd like to square her up from her hock and give her a little more flexibility as she plants at the surface there off her rear too. But again, a nice long-bodied feminine female that will do certainly some good for this young lady. So again, if we could give her a round of applause as she comes around the ring here, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to move into our junior yearling class. See, I just got to look at the breakfast bowl. You have that breakfast yet? I get over there.
We're good. I guess in this class, I'll just pull them on and just profile head facing that way over here, and I'll place like the bottom 2 or 3 and then walk them around again. Young man, can you take your heifer down there for me? Do you mind following him? Thank you. Then I want to take these 3 around one more time, and like why don't you go this way, and then go around and then profile and go head to tail here facing that way. Thank you. Young lady, you're gonna be 3rd, you're gonna be 2nd, you're gonna be 1st. Well, I think an interesting trio here to sort at this class. I'm gonna go ahead and use this young gentleman here in the middle, the black heifer, to win this class, and I think she does so from a structural standpoint. Now I understand we'd maybe like to level her top line out just a bit and when she gets out on the go, but in terms of just functionality, at the ground, she plants those front legs right where she needs to be, has enough flexibility off of either end, and one that really, you gotta love that front end extension and how high she comes out of the top side of her shoulder. So clean, and then blends into a bold full rib. Maybe we'd like to soften her up in her rear flank, but that's getting awfully critical of a very nice, high quality heifer. That's a great place to start this class. There's no arguing this young lady's heifer that's out front is that kind of bolder rib, softer rear flanked heifer than the black female that came out right ahead of her. But one that I just don't think maybe gets around as good off her rear legs. One that's a little coarser made up through her front end, bigger in her shoulder. But again, you got to appreciate the broody stoutness this female presents. The young lady's red heifer that comes out here next is another one that's thick out of her hip and muscular. One we just have to make quite a bit longer up front and longer body throughout. She kind of gets shorter and compact in her overall body style. Then the 2 black heifers that are coming out next are ones that are both extremely long-sided and long-fronted, but both we just need to change from a balance and structural standpoint in order for them to work up. But again, can we give a big round of applause to these exhibitors?
lineup? You want to send them sideways?
I would just go sideways. Maybe have them walk one more lap and then do sideways.
Well, I tell you what, I wouldn't want to touch this class. What an amazing representation of heifers we got out here.
Well, we get in here for our grand champion breeding heifer of the West Otter Tail County Fair. And I think from all these heifers out here, I really think a lot of them have some unique attributes and a lot of intangibles for each one that, you know, someone can really get behind, whether they're out in the show ring or out in the stands or just producing commercial cattle. I'll go ahead and kind of just re-talk our first place heifers here. The black heifer that came out of her first class, one that's super tall at the point of her shoulder. She's really long-bodied, long-fronted and feminine, and we certainly appreciate her for that. Maybe one that we just like to change and have her plant with more flexibility at her ankle off her rear too. One that just gets a little straighter in terms of her angle and a tick more choppy off her rear too. The young man's red heifer that comes out next certainly is a stout made, broody female, one that's super big in terms of her foot size, wide base. She's good down her top line, good from the profile. Just a really nice, stout, broody, sweeping belly shape type of a female. I guess if you're going to get ultra critical on her, again, maybe just a little shorter fronted, coarser there in terms of her shoulder, but again, a nice, stout, broody female. The red heifer that comes out next is exceptional in terms of her lines from the side. One that you just love how she blends her shoulder into a nice, bold, open rib cage. One that just has that beautiful sweeping belly shape, and she gets deeper as she goes back. So tremendously thick down her top, thick out through her hip, and one that's super good off her feet and legs. Just a really high quality female, and I commend this exhibitor for bringing her out here. The white heifer that came out of our shorthorn class, another one of those stout made, really heavy muscled females. You can see how wide base she is. She's thick down her top, powerful out through her hip. I guess for me, if we're going to get ultra critical on her compared to a couple of these other females out here, one that's just a little shorter and coarser in terms of her makeup all the way throughout. One that maybe just is a little rounder in terms of her rib shape. We'd like to soften up that rear flank. But young lady, that's getting ultra critical on a really high quality heifer for her representation and breed today. The young man's smoky heifer that came out of our Charolais composite class is another one you just got to appreciate from the side, you guys. One so elegant and feminine up through her front end. She's smooth in terms of her makeup. Balance is great, I guess, from the profile and from the side. One that you just love how she, again, sweeps into that belly. She's good off her feet and legs. Another high quality heifer. I guess if you want to get ultra critical on her, maybe not the thickest from behind, the stoutest out through her hip, maybe just gets a little bigger shouldered when compared to the others. But again, very high quality, unique, and really striking female from the side. The young man's black heifer that came out of that last class is one that was just really good in terms of her front end. I mean, she's so clean and elegant up there. Ties in and nice and high at the top of her shoulder. Really smooth in terms of her blending into her forerib there. I guess again, if we're gonna pick on this heifer at all, we'd like to soften her in her rear flank, give her more of a broodier rib shape, one that just gets deeper as she goes back. With that being said, within this breeding heifer class, I think there's two heifers that rival each other very competitively in this class. Two heifers that are really good in terms of their build, their makeup. One's heifers that are really sound off their feet and legs. They just get out here and glide. I guess for me, it's just a little personal preference in terms of stoutness, broodiness, and sweeping belly shape. And with that being said, I'll go and congratulate your grand champion and reserve champion females. Again, can we give all these exhibitors a round of applause before I go shake their hands? Congratulations, you're going to be the champion breeding heifer.
Your grand champion, presented by Leland Bjorklund.
Congratulations. It's a nice heifer.
Will be donated for your grand champion and reserve are given by Gary Eckley in memory of Max and Sylvia Cronin. Reserve champion is another Bjorklund. Lucas Bjorklund is the reserve champion.
Stay fair lineup, that's fine.
One took off on me, but I got him back in here.
Okay, perfect. Young man, you're going to be 3.
I'll get him.
Young lady, you're going to be 4, all right? You're going to be 5. Yep. You're 6.
Class on deck should be the
You're 7th,
Marcus Heath,
8th, 9th.
Bjorklund, Grant Carter, Chase Fisher, Sam Fisher, and Nick Zork. And we're going to split the market steer class at 1160 and below, 1175 and above.
Perfect. Just how I lined them up. Yep,
Yep.
yep, yep.
Okay, you good to go?
Got it, Tammy?
You guys good?
Well, did you get it? Did you get it? Got him? I've got him too, so in case, okay. We're good. We're good.
Another day here at the county fair, huh?
Cheaper, a little more challenging.
Yeah, they are. There's a lot more to sort. Just the two.
We can give a round of applause to Nick Lazork. He's the reserve champion in the deep interview class. Careful out there, Steve.
You're good to walk them. Perfect. And then just have them profile here.
Don't forget, folks, we got the chicken strip basket as a special today at 4-H food stand, so make sure you head over there after the show and get a little chicken, and then go over to that mall stand and get a ball or two for free.
You're gonna be second, you're gonna be first. Just the two entries here in our market heifer class, but there's no question this one comes up and surface to the top of this class for me, I guess, quite handily. There's no question that this female is the heaviest muscle of the group. She's the thickest down her top, the stoutest and most powerful out through her hip, and definitely shows the most true dimension and true muscle shape when I get behind her. All those lead me to believe that she will no doubtedly go to the rail with the bigger ribeye when upon harvest, and one that just does so in such a cool, balanced look and structural correct design from the side. Just a really high quality, kind of fault-free heifer for this young man to start this class off. The heifer that comes out in second, kind of the coarser naveled heifer, is one you certainly have to appreciate for the amount of shape she carries on the top end of her skeleton. No doubt that there's some muscle shape coming out there and out through her hip. I guess for me, we just need to make her a more of attractive package and secure those hind legs with more structural correctness in order for her to work up for me. But again, let's give these two exhibitors a round of applause. We're good to walk them, yep. Yeah, if you just want to lead out. Yeah, yep. We can just profile them and have the first one down there. Do a whole lap. Yep.
We, Bear has a Lego room now that with the help of Eagle Lake 4-H donation of $750, we were able to accommodate that. Eagle Lake also donated $1,000 for
Young lady, you want to keep coming down here?
campground. We have a photo banner on the south side.
And then have her just go all the way down. Thank you.
Cattle barn that was donated by Dave Prairie. We also have the herdsmanship banners up here where we're going to keep track of the herdsmanship winners through, it looks like, 2027, and those were donated by Oscar Trondheim, 4-H Club. So let's give all the 4-H lovers a round of applause for raising those funds and donating those significant items that improve our quality of our fair.
Young lady, can you pull your steer to me right here? Thank you. You want to go on the other side of her? Come on this side of her?
There was a deep heavyweight class on deck here. Looks like we need Rebecca Johnson, Sam Danielson, Odin Axlis, Wyatt Thorson, Ava Thompson, as well as Kira Thompson-Horn on deck.
Young man, can you bring your steer next? You want to follow him? Thank you. Yeah, yep. Thank you.
Oh, it just brought to my attention that we have another interviewed reserve champion. Could you put your hands together for Becca Fredrickson from the intermediate class? Becca Frederick, I'm sorry.
You're going to be 3. You're going to be 2nd. You're going to be 1st. I remembered this time. We're going to do 3 blues and the rest reds.
Okay.
First 3 blues. First 3 come back.
All right.
we get into our lightweight steer class, and certainly a lot of differences in terms of type and kind in this class. I feel really comfortable using this young man's speckled steer to start out with. I feel he's the combination of muscularity and look. There's no question he's the heaviest muscled steer of the class, one that just touches with so much dimension and true on his shape to the top side. He's the stoutest coming out of his hip and the most dimensional when viewed from behind, especially from stifle to stifle. You get on the side of him and you got to appreciate the levelness down his top, the boldness to his rib, and how he just proportions so nicely from the side. A very high quality, nice steer to start out for this young man. There's no denying that kind of the white hip steer that comes out in second is the attractive, kind of really showy steer from the side. One that's super good in terms of his front end, really clean fronted, comes out high at the top there. One that's just so smooth, blending from front to rear. He's good down his top line. And most doubtedly, he's probably the second heaviest muscled steer of the class. I guess for me today, one that we just need to see true on his shape, coming out of his hip and into his stifle when compared to the steer that goes above him, and also kind of soften him up in his rear flank, I think, to rival that speckled steer. But a very nice place for this young lady to start. Kind of a harder one to study here is this young lady's big red steer that comes out next. One you certainly got to appreciate for the performance-oriented and the growth that this steer exhibits. No question, he's really long-sided and long-bodied. I guess for me today, he's one that just gets a little staler in terms of his handle up high, and one that just kind of disappoints me when I get directly behind him. But a very nice steer to start out for this young lady. Young man's black steer that comes out next is another one that's good in terms of his structural correctness. He's good off his feet and legs. One that's tremendously level top. We just like to give him more gut and rear end in order for him to work up. And the remaining three steers for me today are extremely long-sided. Steers that just need to be quite a bit opened up in terms of their bone work, rib cage, and just have quite a few shots more muscle down their top and out their rear end in order for them to work up. But again, if we can give them a round of applause, please. I know these exhibitors all worked extremely hard.
We need Rebecca Johnson, Sam Danielson, Morton Axtis, Wyatt Thorson, David Thompson, and it looks like Kira Thompson-Orr.
We're good? Thank you. we're good to walk them around.
Take you all around. Hang on.
You can just follow him in line to go around.
Right? I'm not wrong. Profile him or not?
Yep, profile him over here.
Don't forget about the showmanship. Today, after we get through judging calves, it's time to judge the kids. Encourage all of you to partake in that. It's a very valuable experience. State Fair has a competition as well.
Young man, you're doing a great job showing him. Can you just pull him up right over here? Thank you. You mind bringing your steer next? Can you bring your steer next? You're fine right there. You mind going? Young lady, you're doing an awesome job showing him. Can you pull him in line?
Yeah.
Thank you. How much did your steer weigh, sir?
1575.
You're gonna be second. You're gonna be first. Can you get blue ribbons to the top? Three animals and then reds to the bottom three. And then state fair trips for just, or state fair lineup for just those three blues.
All right.
Really interesting set here. Really interesting set here in our heavyweight steer class. Definitely an intriguing and differences in types and kind in our top duo here. I went with the kind of the combination, more of the balanced steer that is just really good from the profile. One that's just so ties in so smooth up in his front end. He's cleaner about his neck and front end there, coming out of his sternum and up through his neck. He's leveler right behind his shoulder. Comes out square right out through his hip. And for me today, he's got enough muscle shape down his top and out through his hip. One that just, like I said before, you just got to appreciate so much from the side about how he balances up. Love how opened up he is about his rib shape. And it will definitely go to the rail with a good, good rib area and quality grade. The big steer that comes out in second for this young lady, no question, is the heaviest muscle. He's the thickest down his top and the stoutest and most powerful out through his hip. But then again, that's going to come when he's got a 220-pound weight advantage here in this class, especially at the top end. I guess the steer for me today that's just a little coarser and bulkier in terms of his makeup, probably past 12 o'clock at this point, one that's just really big shouldered, not right off of his rear wheels and out through his hip. But again, a really heavy muscled, high quality steer for this young lady that definitely grew very well for her. The steer that comes out in third is one of those really kind of tall fronted, long body type of steers that has enough shape. I guess for me today, he just kind of disappoints in terms of his hip and stifle shape from behind, one that you just like to see more true width and shape coming out of his back end there. The remaining three steers are all ones that are really, just need a shot more muscle and true shape down their top and out through their hip, and you'd like to see that their stifle area and lower quarter probably more filled in and have more true shape. But again, can we give a round of applause, please, to these exhibitors coming out here today? Yeah.
We're going to now pick the champion and reserve champion as well as the state fair lineup in the market animals.
How much does she weigh?
1185.
Thank you. He was 13. How much your steer weigh? 12.
The class on deck will be the Prospect Calf, Steve Pepper class, Faith Pitcher, Isaac Pitcher, Sam Pitcher, Madison Lean. I want those individuals to be on deck. They'll be the next class to the ring.
Yeah, we're good at just profiling
The
here.
blue ribbon auction is Saturday morning, but you have to sign up before the auction in order to be able to participate.
Well, we get out here today and we have our grand champion market animal lineup. If we could all give these exhibitors a big round of applause. It takes a lot of hard work to get out here. With that being said, I'll just kind of go over your first place animals real quick. This red heifer coming out of the market heifer class is one that, again, it just hits me really hard when she walks in. Her combination of muscle shape and design from the side, you can't make one much better than that one. That's just so good in terms of her front end. She's smooth in her makeup, level design. Love the rib shape and how she blends from front to rear. One that you get your hands on and you're not disappointed at all in terms of the shape and condition of finish she's in right now. I really like to see her at another 150, 200 pounds. I think she can be highly competitive up there at the state fair. The young man's heavyweight steer that came out of that last class one that we just talked about. For that class, he balanced up the best in terms of his profile from the side. One that's extremely long fronted, tall sided, good in his makeup. Again, kind of deep bodied, robust centered. One that has enough shape in his respective class down the top and out through his hip. A steer that I liked quite a bit. The young man's speckled steer that came out of that lightweight class, again, we talked about how he kind of rose to the top of that class quite easily. In terms of combination of balance and muscle shape, he was easily the heaviest muscle in that class. Displays the most outward turn to his loin edge on the top side of his skeleton there. One that's extremely stout out through his hip and good balance and design from the side. With that being said, I think it just comes to personal preference and maybe a quality difference in here. Today, like I said before, there's this one that really hit me hard when that exhibitor first came in with that animal, and one I just can't take my eyes off here in the lineup. Your grand champion market animal will be your market heifer coming out of that first class. Congratulations. With that being said here, we kind of just go into our two steers now. One that I think are a little different in their type and kind. Maybe one's the growthier, higher performing, obviously, as he's older and has more weight per day of age. With that being said, I think it comes down to a little differences in terms of type and kind and true honest shape that they have. But with that being said, I'll go out and select your reserve champion market animal. Congratulations. Congratulations, you gave him a run for your money.
Yeah, I think.
State fair lineup. The little speckled will be third. She's fifth. Thank you, guys.
Okay, we got the prospect heifer calves. We need Faith Fisher, Isaac Fisher, Sam Fisher, and Madison Lee. Then on deck, we've got the prospect calf steer class. Matt Danielson, Sam Danielson, Becca Frederick, and Rebecca Johnson.
Young lady, you want to walk her around for me? Young lady, can you come right here? You're gonna be 2, you're gonna be 1. We get out here in our prospect heifer class, and I think this young lady's speckled heifer comes to the top here pretty handily, one that's really stout and broody in her makeup at such a young age. You love how she ties in from her front end into her rib shape. She's bold and opened up in terms of her center body. She drops back in her rear flank into a nice sweeping belly at a young age. One that's kind of quicker maturing, but you got to love how square she is out through her hip. And just a stout, broody heifer and a good place to start for this young lady. The young man's brown heifer calf that comes out next is certainly more elegant about her front end. She's longer bodied and probably plants with a tick more flexibility. Off her rear too there than the class winner. One for me is just kind of greener in condition, greener in her makeup, but I love the potential that she has coming down the road, and I think this young man has a bright future with her. The young man's white heifer calf that comes out next maybe just doesn't have the overall balance and design from the profile as the top two. One that just gets a little straighter in terms of her shoulder angle, a little straighter off her rear too, but a really nice heifer calf for this young man. This young lady's black heifer, she's doing an awesome job showing her out here, working her butt off. One that just maybe needs a shot more body, muscle, and total rib package, and like to square her up off her rear too in order to work her up. But a really nice class for our prospect heifer calves. Can we all give them a round of applause, please?
Okay, now we're going to bring the prospect steer calves in. Matt Danielson, Sam Danielson, Becca Frederick, Rebecca Johnson, Thea Olson, and Ava Price. And after we judge this class, then we'll bring all the prospect calves back and pick a champion.
Yep. Young lady, can you bring your steer down here for me? 3, 2. You want to give blues to the top 4. And then just those back for State Fair then. Yep, and with that big tall brown calf. Yep. Top 4. Yep. We get into our prospect steer show, and man, the quality really drives up quickly. A black steer this young lady shows out. Rise to the top of this class quite handily in my eyes. One that's really built right for his stage, one that's really good fronted, good in his design, leveled down his top, opened up about his rib cage, really deep bodied already. You get over the top of him and from behind him, and easily the heaviest muscled, stoutest made steer prospect of this class. I wish this lady the best here the next year. That's an awfully nice calf, and would really like to see him fully bloomed come next show season. Big congrats to her as well. That's a really nice steer.
All these are men because you're the ex-prospect.
The pair of calves coming out here next, I think, are really similar in their build. 2 that are really green in their condition, but if you look past that, two calves that are really built right for their maturity curve and their age right now. 2 that are really good off their feet and legs. They're good in their design. I think they have enough muscle shape right now for me today. 2 that just, when relative to the black steer in front, are just greener in their condition and greener in their overall maturity curve, and pretty tough to get past that black steer that came out in front. But 2 really nice calves for these young exhibitors. Really, again, look forward to seeing them as we move forward. No question, the young lady that comes out here next with the brown calf is probably one of the higher performing weight, especially from a weight per day of age perspective. Really tall front and long bodied calf. One that we just like to maybe reassure off his rear wheels there and have him tick more shape coming out of his hip and stifle for his size and his maturity curve. But again, big congratulations to her. The remaining exhibitors, these 3 here, are calves that are all, good off their feet and legs, but calves that we just need to see quite a bit more muscle, shape, and overall, open them up in their center body and their rib shape in order for them to work up. But again, can we please give a big congratulations to all these kids out here? They've been working hard all summer with their projects. Yeah, we can bring in those heifers.
After we pick the
We get out here today and have our champion prospect calf lineup out here. And, with that being said, I think there's 2 calves out here that really fit in that champion and reserve champion hole quite nicely. They line up very well, 1, 2. I guess for me today, it's just more personal preference. And there's a calf that came in and hit me pretty hard when he came into class with the combination of balance, muscularity, and just his overall build. One that I just think is right where he needs to be right now. I guess we're all kind of predicting and kind of expecting to see how they're going to grow out next summertime. That's kind of what this prospect calf class is all about. And I think there's one calf in here that has a tremendous future in front of him, and I wish this young lady the best this next year of getting her calf ready for next summer. I think he's a pretty big time show calf, and your grand champion prospect calf is going to be this prospect steer. Congratulations.
Congratulations. champion is exhibited by Rebecca Johnson.
Like I said before, I think the champion came up quite nicely, and with that being said, our reserve champion is going to fit into that hole quite nicely right behind the steer. A heifer that has, again, a tremendous future in front of her. I love her build right now, how stout, broody, and soggy she is already as a calf, and really like to see her as a yearling. Your reserve champion prospect calf is going to be your champion prospect heifer. Congratulate her. Congratulations. Congrats, you're going to be third.
I want to explain about a brand new event that we're having at the county fair. We have got 166 goats this year at our fair. We are bursting at the seams. We had no place to put them, so we had to get very, very creative. We borrowed pins from Wadena County. So the goat group is...
Well, man, can you bring your calf and put him over there?
And one of our big fundraiser is this. So listen.
You want to follow him over here?
On Saturday at 4 o'clock, we are going to hold Super Senior Showmanship. To nominate someone to show a goat, you pay $10. If that person chooses not to show the goat, they have to pay $20 to get out of it. The goat will be provided. The judges for Super Senior Showmanship will be our champion Mary and champion Market Goat Senior Showman. And we have already a man will be showing a goat called Pumpkin. Who's very
Excuse me, where'd you have him?
Huh?
He's asked where he should go. He's down here.
He's right here.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, we're good. We are good.
And so we would like somebody to nominate fair board members. People in
Young man, you're going to be third, all right?
the great
You just go on this other side of this young man here?
fair office with your $10 and nominate that person. And we will get them all here to show votes on Saturday at 4 o'clock.
Also, there's a fundraiser going on in the pig barn over here. It's called the Pig 4 contest. Only lots of dollars.
You're going to be second, all right? You're going to be first.
Prize that you could win.
So come out here.
Just that big weight. So here you go over there and take a look at that guy.
Just, you can face out front.
Also, for that senior showman, whoever that ends up being, there's a $25 gift card at Curtis Locker. So the
we get into our dairy prospect feeder calf class, and I think the young lady brings out the highest performing growthiest steer of the class, who's also the heaviest muscle. You get over top of him, and he has the thickest, he's the thickest over his top, the stoutest out through his hip, and shows the most true dimension from stifle to stifle when you get right behind him. That leads me to believe that he's the heaviest muscled calf of this class, and one that is going to grow into a nice, heavy, good performing steer for this young lady. The young man steer that comes out next is one that's really tall and long-bodied and long-sided in his own right. I feel he's the next shapely steer of the class, one that has the next amount of muscle down his top and out through his hip, one that maybe we just like to open up in terms of his rib cage and overall stoutness right there at the ground in order to compete with the calf in front of him. The young man steer out here that comes in third is one he does a really good job showing, and clearly he's put a lot of work in with that calf, as the calf's pretty tame as he goes about the ring. One that you got to appreciate for the soundness he carries at the ground. But then again, probably the third heaviest muscled calf of this class. Congratulate him as well.
What are blues and reds?
3 blues, 2 reds. To round out these 2 exhibitors, 2 calves that are maybe you're just earlier in their maturity curve, younger calves in this class, 2 that maybe just don't have the overall muscle and power that the 3 ahead of them had. But go ahead and let's congratulate these guys on a great young class.
Crossbred class. Anna Hellebone, Amber Freegard, Logan Freegard, Winston Heibert, Stella Holmstrom, Greta Larson, Emma Schieser, and Owen Thormanson. After the judge finishes up this class, we'll bring back the purebred, and then we'll take a champion and reserve in our prospect dairy steer class. We've got the champion in the senior division of the beef interview all here, so could you give that hand to Amber Freegard, please?
Young lady, you want to bring your calf down here and just start the line down here. She's gonna start our line. You hang in right there, man. Young lady, you want to come in on the other side of her? Thank you. Young lady, can you come in on the other side of her? Then can you follow her? Thank you. You're on first. You want to give the top 4 blues, and then bring those 4 back for State Fair lineup. There's no State Fair lineup? Okay. You're second, you're first. We get into our crossbred dairy feeder calf class. And I think the young man's steer here comes to the top quite handily in terms of his combination of balance and muscularity. He's clearly the heaviest muscle down out through his top, the thickest, most powerful out through his hip, and again, shows the most dimension from stifle to stifle when you get from behind him. Then you get on the side of him, and he's one that I think balances up the nicest in terms of this class, in terms of his levelness at top, squareness of hip, and boldness and curvature out through his rib cage. Just a really nice steer to start off this class. The young lady steer that comes out next is probably a taller, higher performing steer in relation to the calf that won the class. One that, again, you gotta love how opened up he is in his center body and his stoutness out through his hip. Maybe one that just doesn't quite have the shape up high or the levelness to his build down his top line. But again, 2 really nice young calves that are great prospects here for the next year. Congratulations to those 2. The young man Swollen Hawk steer that comes out next is one that is really elegant and good looking from the side. Really tall, up-fronted, smooth blending from his shoulder into his forerib. Level about his top, square about his hip. Maybe you'd like to clean him up about his joints, free him up a bit as he moves about the ring here today, but one I do certainly like in terms of his build. The young man steer that comes out next is one that you have to appreciate for how long-bodied and growthy and tall he is. One that it has some center to his rib there, one that's kind of opened up. We just like to give him a shot more muscle down his top and out through his hip, and give him some more true shape coming out through his stifle to compete today. The remaining 4 ladies here that came out today all bring quality steers in their own right. I guess just for me today, I'd like to see them coming more stouter out through their hip, more muscular down their top, and just give them more power throughout both ends of their skeleton. But again, if we can congratulate this whole class on an excellent set of crossbred Dairy Prospect steers. We get out here today for your grand champion Dairy Prospect steer calf class, and I guess for me, there's kind of two that just come out here and again fit quite nicely in that champion and reserve champion hole. They're two calves that came out of a deeper, higher quality class, and for that, right, I commend them for making it out here. And again, I think they're just the more balanced, heavier muscled steers of this group of four now when we relate them back. When comparing them to the purebreds. Your crossbreds are going to be your champion and reserve champion Dairy Prospect steers. If we give them a round of applause, these are two pretty nice prospect calves. Hey, congratulations. 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 Congrats, little man. You did awesome out here.
And then Owen Thormanson has the crossbred. Then on deck we need the East cow-calf pairs. Jackson Bjorklund, Levi Knudsen, Melody Lundquist, Thea Olson, Kira Thompson-Horn, and Matt Platt.
You're good right there, ma'am.
Don't forget, consider Saturday morning, Uber adoption, 9 o'clock. You must get signed up beforehand. Sign up sheet is at the 4-H office. For the showmanship portion of our show today, we're talking about the senior kids first. So what? And the senior showmen are 9 and above, and there's also a $5 premium for any individual.
You're gonna be third. You're gonna be third, just so you can stay put. Second, first. We'll give 2 blues and a red.
Okay, last one red.
Yep. We're going to leave these big dairy steers how they were when they came in. I think this young man brings in the red and white steer, and he quite easily is the heaviest muscle, thickest over his top, most powerful out through his hip, and again, most dimensional from stifle to stifle when you view him from behind. You get over the side of him, and he's probably the levelest pin steer of the class, the one that's the squarest about his hip. And I think he balances up quite nicely from the side. I feel very comfortable using him in the first hole of the slot. Congratulations, young man. That's a really nice dairy steer. The young lady's black and white steer that comes out in second. No questions, probably taller at the top of his shoulder, bigger in his kind. One for me that just gets steeper out through his hip and maybe doesn't quite have the muscle shape up high to contend with the red and white steer. The young lady's steer that comes out here in third is one. She does a really good job showing. I guess for me, he's just quite easily the lightest muscled over his top and from behind when you view him from both angles. But let's give those 3 exhibitors a round of applause again, please. You guys want to follow in right over here? You guys want to follow? You guys are gonna be third, second, first.
Once again, when we get into the showmanship portion of our show, we're going to start with the senior showman, and then intermediate, and the beginner class will be last.
They're third, they're second, they're first. No, we're good, we're good. We get into our cow-calf class, and I think the quality really picks up tremendously, especially here at this top end, this top trio out here. Really fun to sort out here. I guess for me, this red female and her calf, the white-uddered female, they kind of rise to the top of this class quite easily. This is a really nice cow out front. If you have a pasture full of cows that look like this, you're doing all right as a cattle rancher, cattle farmer. Just a kind of a front pasture, elite type of female that these exhibitors brought out here for us today. So elite and good in her build, just really feminine, clean up front, just so smooth blending into her forerib there. She's got a really expansive, deep body cavity. She sweeps the right way, good off her feet and legs, and you can definitely see the quality she stamped on her calf here. Another one of them cattle that are just really good in their build, really functional, sound. He's got a big future in front of him as a bull calf here. Just a really nice, high quality, elite cow calf, I think, to start off our class. A really elegant, pretty female that comes out in second here. One that's super, super feminine about her front end, really tall at the top of her shoulder. Just comes out super high, really feminine, clean. She comes back, you can see she's in production, putting everything she has into that calf. But one, I think if you look past her kind of greener condition, one that's just really good in terms of her build, really functional, sound, good looking female from the side. Like I said, I commend her for being fresh and feminine how she is at this age with this cow, or with this calf on her side. The third place cow-calf pair coming out next, another really good female in terms of her look and structure from the side. One that maybe just gets a little shallower in terms of her rib, a little harder doing in terms of her upper rib cage, and maybe quite not as functional off the rear too as the two cows that come above her. But again, a really nice pair, and I commend this young exhibitor for coming out here and dragging around that little heifer calf. Again, I want to put kudos to this young man and that heifer for those two raising these two twin calves. We all know twins on cows are a lot harder than raising singles. You can definitely tell she's putting all she can into these two calves. And with that, she's just a little greener in her condition, more shallower in her rib cage. I guess you just like to soften her up and to compete at higher. And again, I want to commend these exhibitors for bringing this cow-calf out. Another really good pair, tandem duo here. Just like to see more of her in that cow and get her around more functionally stable off for either end. Again, can we put a big round of applause for these exhibitors, and we'll continue on.
Got a little advice from a gentleman that's been around here for many years. He said that probably the younger showman should come out here pick up some advice and some techniques that they use so that when you come out into the ring, you got a little idea what you're supposed to do.
We get out here today in our senior showmanship class, and I commend everyone for coming out here. There's a lot of seniors in this class, probably the most senior showmen I've had in a show that I've judged so far today. With that being said, I really hope the juniors and intermediates are like our announcer talked about, nearby, because there's definitely some things that you can just learn by just watching some of these showmen out here. There's a couple showmen out here that are so cool, calm, and collected. They have everything planned out before they even set foot in this ring, and you can tell that there's hours and upon hours of work done at home. The cattle respond extremely well to them. They respect their handlers a lot, and that only comes with a bunch of hard work at home and dedication to thoroughly being out there working with your animals. With that being said, there's two gentlemen out here, I guess for me, that kind of fit the bill for me of what I'm looking for in a senior showman. You can definitely tell that this isn't their first go around in the ring. Like I said before, they're cool, calm, and collected. Always know where I'm at. It doesn't matter if I'm right upon their heifer looking at them, or if I'm on the complete opposite side of the ring. They're always aware of where I'm at as a judge. And you can tell that they just work in tandem with their animal, as they're always taking a couple steps, then checking to see where I'm at, but making sure that their animal is cared for first. And with that being said, these two exhibitors that I'm going to select as champion in reserve are ones that I can barely even notice them out there because they're so cool, calm, and collected, and all they care about is their animal. And I think that's the true spokesmanship to showmanship anyway, is showing off that animal to the best of their ability and actually even hiding themselves out there, because a good show person will make sure the animal's focused on, and we're highlighting the positives about their animal and hiding the negatives about them. That's what a superb showman does, really. And like I said before, I think there's two showmen out here that really fit my bill for me anyway. They have their heifers looking spot on. There's not a foot out of place ever. They have them looking to their best of their ability. I think for me, there's one out here that maybe just gets it done just a tad quicker. in terms of setting up his heifer, in terms of getting her feet right where they need to be, and getting her looking where she needs to be on the profile for me. But with that being said, I'll go out and congratulate your senior showman. But if we can first have everyone give a big round of applause. These senior showmen did a heck of a job out here. Ready? Congratulations, you did a hell of a job.
Grand champion showman is Stephen Bjorklund.
Congratulations, hell of a job.
Your reserve champion is Lucas Bjorklund. Going to judge the intermediate showman now. Ages in the intermediate showmanship class are 6th through 8th grade. How about that ring man? That guy is doing a whale of a job today. Thank you, Steve. I remember a ring man who was with us for about 40 years. Tiny Holm was his name. Did a tremendous job. So, Steve, if you're going to exceed that record, you'll be out here until you're a little over 100.
It won't happen. We get the intermediate showmen out here today, and again, I think it's another great group of young kids, and I want to commend them for coming out here and presenting their animals to the best of their ability for me today. With that being said, I think we can, as a whole group, just kind of think about what all showmanship really means, I guess. And that's not about, staring down the judge and making sure you have eye contact with him 24/7. Eye contact's great, and it's good to know where I'm at, but, you can get excessive with it because, first things first, we want to worry about our animal and make sure our animal is right where they need to be versus where the judge is at. And with that being said, I think we also got to take into account about how we're setting up the legs, how we're holding the head. It all correlates to how that animal looks on the profile. We want to make sure those front legs are square, head is up, looking good, and then those back legs are staggered how they need to be. And I think there's a couple showmen out here that maybe present their animal to a higher standard than the other kids. And with that being said, I think there's a lady out here that just kind of put it all together for me. She was just really fluid. Had the animal's legs, her cow's legs, exactly where she needed to be at all times. Sure, we'd like to fix the tail on her every once in a while, but I think that's just how she naturally wants to hold it. But with that being said, your young lady here with the speckled heifer is your champion intermediate showman. Congratulations, you did a nice job.
Champion exhibitor is Steve Fisher.
With that being said, I think our reserve showman fits in quite nicely. An exhibitor who maybe at times just wanted to overextend her cow's feet and legs and maybe not want to hold up its head quite as high. With that being said, if we could just fix those front legs and make them right square, she would have ran our champion a run for her money there. But with that being said, your reserve champion intermediate showman is going to be this lady up front here with the little prospects to your calf. If we can congratulate her, she did a superb job. Congratulations.
Champion is Rebecca Johnson, and the plaques are donated by Gary Eckley in memory of his wife Shirley Eckley.
Congratulations, you guys. You guys all did a great job. Congrats. Congratulations.
Okay, we'll be bringing in the junior showman now. Grades 3 through 5.
How you doing, little man? Good. What was your favorite thing about showing your calf here this summer? Do you have a favorite thing that you did? Walking him. What was your plan with him? Did you walk him up and down the driveway? Just walk him around the yard? What did you do? Walk him around the yard. Were you pretty good about doing that a lot? It takes a lot of hard work, doesn't it? Yeah. You like showing cattle? Yeah. Good deal. You do an awesome job. Thank you for coming out today. How are you doing? Good. What was your favorite thing about showing cows this summer?
Walking.
Walking them? Yeah. What was your plan? Where did you walk them? Up and down the drive, in the barn, in the yard?
And to the silo.
To the silo. Is that a pretty far walk?
Kind of.
Kind of. They probably didn't like it right at first, did they? No. You like showing cows?
Yes.
Yeah, they're fun, aren't they? They're big. Will you keep up the hard work for me, all right? You're doing a great job. How you doing today? Good? What was your favorite thing about showing cows this summer?
Just to have fun.
Just to have fun? I think you're doing a great job at that. You're having fun out here, aren't you? Maybe the cow's not, but you're having fun. Did you wash her before the show today?
Yeah.
Yeah? How was that? Good. She looks really clean. You did a great job, all right? Keep showing, keep working hard, all right? How you doing?
Good.
Good. What's your cow's name?
Sam.
Sam? Is there a reason behind that? Is your buddy's name Sam?
No.
No. Just because it fit him? Yeah. What was your favorite thing about Sam this summer?
Probably being with him.
Yeah? Did you spend a lot of time with them? Did you feed them? Yeah? What'd you feed them? Like 1 or 2 scoops of feed?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did he clean it up usually? No. It's probably a little hot for him, huh? Did you wash him before the show today?
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks good. He's really clean. You
Kind
d-
of got a little dirty on his hose.
yeah, it looks
Because he kind of
was rubbing. Yeah, laid down. He looks good. You did a great job. Will you keep up the hard work, all right? It's a lot of work, but it does pay off. How you doing, old man? Good. What's your cow's name? Missy. Did you come up with Missy? Yeah. What was your favorite thing about showing Missy this summer? Being in the ring. Pretty fun time, isn't it? You worked with her a lot, though, I can tell. She's just standing here good for you. Did you put a lot of time into her this summer? Did you wash her before the show? Yeah, I can tell. Washed and blow-dried her. She looks really good. Any other fun facts about Missy? Is she bred right now? Yeah. When is she due to calve?
I think April 1st or
Okay. Yeah. Do you know what kind of semen you put in her? 10 speed? Perfect. Thank you very much. You did a great job showing her. Congratulations. How you doing, young lady? Good. What's your calf's name? Rocket. Did you come up with that? Who came up with that? Your sister. Did she bring it out for Clover Buds? I think I remember Rocket. What was your favorite thing about showing Rocket this summer?
that he's a really good listener.
Is he? You know what that comes with? That just comes with you working with him a lot. So you telling me that he's a good listener tells me that you were out there working with him a lot. Is that true? Did you walk him a lot? You do a great job out here. Congratulations. Can you keep up the hard work for me? You gonna show cows again next year?
Yep.
All right, we'll hopefully see you again, all right? Have a good rest of the summer. You did awesome.
We're getting hot.
Yeah, it is. How are we doing? Good. What's your calf's name?
Teddy.
Teddy. Did you come up with Teddy? Yeah?
He's a big teddy bear.
Oh. Did you work with him a lot this summer? Yeah, what was your favorite part about working with him?
Getting to get to know him and just be with him.
Yeah, that is always a nice part, isn't it?
Yep.
You do a great job. He responds to you really well. I can tell you've worked with him a lot.
Thank you.
Keep up the hard work, all right?
Yep, I will.
It's a lot of hard work, isn't it? But it pays off here, don't it? It's fun showing, isn't it? It is. All righty, congratulations. Keep it up, all right? How are you doing?
Good.
I remember you.
Yeah.
Just show a little bit of everything, huh?
Yeah.
What's your calf's name?
Yeah.
Jeff? Did you come up with Jeff?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have a brother that brought Jeff out here for Clover Buds?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I remember Jeff. What was your favorite thing about Jeff this summer?
I like to walk.
What was your plan? Would you walk him up and down the driveway, or yeah? He's being kind of ornery. He must be a little hot, huh? You did a great job with him. Keep up the hard work, all right? You're doing a great job showing. How are you doing?
Good.
Good. Take your time. You're good. Does your cow have a name? What's her name? Sugar. You do an awesome job showing Sugar. Did you work with her a lot this summer? Yeah, I can tell. You do a great job showing her. You know that? Can you keep up the hard work for me? Alrighty. It takes a lot of hard work, I know, but do you like showing cows? Yeah, you gonna show again next year? Maybe. Alrighty. Keep doing a good job, alright? Congratulations. Getting out here today in our last class of showmanship, I really enjoyed taking the time and talking to each of these kids and just kind of getting a feel for how much they spend out in their project. And it's always good to have that kind of one-on-one social talk and just get a feel for, you know, exactly what they all do with their cattle projects throughout the summer. I don't know if all you guys know, but there's a lot of behind-the-scenes work that goes into show day here. It's not just something they pick out their projects, work with them once or twice and show up here. This is hours and hours of hard work of either being tied up or walking them, you know, every day or, you know, multiple times throughout the week. And it's just something that I think, you know, a lot of people take for granted, especially with these kids' hard work ethics, to be able to come out here and handle these big projects exactly like they do. So for that, can we give this entire big group here a big round of applause? With that being said, I think there's one showman out here that kind of just really impressed me when he first walked in. And when I first had my conversation with him, it kind of got a little more informational, I would say, than the rest of them. This young man told me that his heifer was bred. I asked him if he knew who she was bred to, and he could even tell me the bull that she was bred to, 10-speed. So with that being said, I think he deserves the champion honors here. It's going to be your young man here with the big cow in the middle. Congratulate him. Congratulations, young man. You did an awesome job, all right? With that being said, I think all these other kids are certainly deserving of the reserve showman. With that being said, I guess they paid me to pick one more person. I guess they put me in the bad honor of having to choose between all these great kids showing out here. But I guess with that being said, I think this young lady on the end here with the big heifer just does a superb job, and I think kudos to her for wanting to come out here with another big cow. And you can definitely tell the way that those two work together. There's definitely been a whole lot of hard work put in between the two, because to get a big cow like that to respond to such a little showman is quite the honor, and I definitely can see all the hard work that they put in. So with doing so, let's congratulate our reserve champion junior showman with the little girl here on the end. Congratulations, you did awesome.
A little help from Grandpa there, too.
I'd just like to thank everybody for coming out here these last 2 days and allowing you guys to give me my opinion on the livestock that you guys brought in. I just want to say I was impressed with our top end of livestock here off of all 3 shows. And again, just please continue to keep up the hard work and keep pressing on, you guys. I know how much all this hard work and all the time spent out in the barns throughout the summer really means. And again, I just kudos to all these exhibitors and thank them again one last time. If we can, please, one more big round of applause for the entire show. Thank you.